And now for the Aldrich family. The actions of a teenage boy are about as explosive as a thunderstorm. They never cease as long as he has an ounce of energy to draw on. And with Henry Aldrich, there are usually a few extra ounces in reserve. It is Saturday morning, and the scene opens on Homer Brown's front veranda.
Homer, look at it this way. It's January.
Stand back, Henry. You're crowding me.
And what better month is there to go fishing in than January?
Henry, can't you see I'm busy washing storm windows?
But think of it, Homer. You cut a hole in the ice, see, and you sit there, and the night's frosty air. Oh, it's not too frosty, just healthy.
Henry, why should I go sitting around in the air when I can watch storm windows from my father?
Homer, do you feel well?
Yeah, will you step aside? Boy, after all my father's done for me, it's the least I can do.
But, Homer, think of the size fish there must be in Fletcher's Pond. They've been growing ever since summer.
There's no use asking me, Henry. When my father wants me to do something, boy, I certainly wouldn't let him down.
What? Homer, are you sure you feel well?
He's right in the living room there.
Oh, he is?
Sure, listening to every word we say. Can't you see he's left the window open?
I don't see him.
Well, he's there. My mother finally put her foot down on these windows.
What?
I'm washing the outside, and my father's washing the inside. And we can't leave until they're finished.
Homer, what are you whispering about?
Oh, Father, Henry was just... We were... I'm not whispering.
How do you do, Mr. Brown?
Henry, would you mind not confusing Homer? He can only think of one thing at a time. Right now, he's supposed to be on the window.
Well, Father, Henry was just on his way home.
I was?
Goodbye, Henry. Get busy with that sponge, Homer.
Listen, Homer, suppose I go in and have a word with your father.
What about?
You know, an appeal to his better nature.
Henry, you're licked before you start. I mean, he's pretty determined to get these windows done.
Well, it's worth a try anyway.
Watch your step, Henry. He's pretty busy. Then call me if anything happens.
Oh, Mr. Brown, are you washing the windows?
Of course I am.
In that easy chair?
Well, I just want to get the perspective from back here before I start.
Oh.
Hand me that darn sponge.
Mr. Brown, you're quite a fisherman, aren't you?
What's that?
What I mean is, fishing is good in spring, sure, but don't you agree there's no month like January?
For fishing?
Sure. Don't you agree that that's when the fish are biggest?
Yeah?
Well, they've had since summer to put on weight.
Yes, I never looked at it that way.
Sure. I'll bet if you went down to Fletcher's Pond and chopped a hole in the ice, you could catch some whoppers.
Yes, I bet you would at that.
You mean you agree with me, Mr. Brown, that a person should take advantage of a thing like that?
I certainly do.
Oh, boy, thanks. Hey, Homer, come here.
What, Henry? What'd you say?
I fixed it, Homer. Your father agrees that this is a perfect day for
He
fishing.
does? Boy, Father, you mean I don't have to wash the outside of the windows?
Of course you do.
What?
What?
And the inside, too.
Listen, Henry, I thought you fixed it.
And get busy right away. I have to speak to your mother.
Just think, Father, in January.
Henry, I don't want to speak to you again about your feet. Why don't you run along and let me finish?
My feet, Father? Are you afraid they'll get frostbitten?
I'm afraid they'll get chopped off.
Oh, sure, I'll stand back.
Thank you.
Boy, look at that ice fly.
And if you could find time to shovel this front walk regularly the way you're supposed to, the ice wouldn't form like this.
I realize that, Father, and I'll certainly see to it that I do it after this.
Good.
And speaking of ice, Father, how about it?
How about what?
Going fishing.
I'm sorry, Henry, but I can't find the time today.
Couldn't you chop the ice some other time?
Not very well.
Well, couldn't you...
Henry, I tell you, I can't get out of it. Your mother's keeping an eye on me.
She is?
Don't look now, but she's right there in the living room window.
Oh. Hello, Mother.
Henry, I hope you aren't slowing up your father.
No, Mother, I'm helping him.
You are?
Sort of.
Sam!
I'm stopping, Alice.
Sam! Sam, Mary says you want it on the phone.
Oh, thank you. Here, Henry.
Gee, Father, what do I do with this?
You can chop with it.
Oh, here he comes now, Mr. Brown.
Oh, is it Will Brown?
Yes, Father. I told him you were busy, but he said this is very important.
Hello.
Hello, Sam. Do I understand you're tied up today?
Well, I'm doing a little cleaning up outside.
Oh, then it's something you could get out of?
Well, as a matter of fact, what's on your mind?
Sam, what do you say we go fishing?
What's that?
Well, there's no better month to go fishing than January.
But Will.
You know, you cut a little hole in the ice and you sit around in the nice frosty air.
What made you think of that, Will?
I heard somebody talking about it. Come on, Sam, what do you say?
Well, it's a temptation, I'll admit. The only thing is, I have this work I should do, and...
Oh, do it tomorrow.
Well, you see, Alice wants... Naturally, I don't have to do it.
Naturally. It's like I was just saying to Elizabeth. Who pays the bills around here anyway?
Did it work?
Well, no. I finally said I had to go out for some cigars.
Cigars, eh?
Yeah, I'm down at the drugstore right now with my fishing tackle.
Well, I'll meet you there in 15 minutes.
Right.
You're going to meet him where, Father?
Why,
I thought you promised Mother to chop the ice on the front lawn.
why, Mary, who pays the bills around here?
My father.
That is, I think I'll go out and get some cigars.
Darn it all, anyway.
Hey, Henry.
Is that you, Roma?
Okay, Henry, let's go. Let's go.
Where?
She was, where do you think? Fishing.
Fishing. This is a fine time for you to decide that. Just when I have to chop up this darn sidewalk for my father.
Where's your father hiding, Henry?
He isn't hiding anyplace. He was called away on a very important conference.
He was.
And besides, I thought you had to stay home and wash windows.
But I don't anymore. My father went off someplace, so I threw in the sponge and left.
Darn it all, anyway.
You really can't go.
Homer, do you know how long it's taken me to chop this little bit of ice?
How long?
Well, it's going to take me all day to finish it.
Gee. If your father shoveled his walk once in a while, you wouldn't have all this ice. Oh, word.
What are you eating?
A piece of ice. It just flew in.
Listen, Homer. Listen, if you think you can stand around all day eating ice when I'm breaking my darn back...
What are you getting at, Henry?
The least you could do is help me.
Well, why should we both break our backs? Unless... Say,
What?
listen, maybe we can still go fishing. Have you thought of hot water?
Hot water?
Sure. You have a hose, haven't you?
What? Sure thing.
It'd melt this ice in no time.
Well, gee, what are we standing around for?
Feel that breeze, Will.
Yes, sir. It really keeps you on your toes, doesn't it?
Incidentally, how are your toes?
Oh, they're fine, Sam, as long as I keep wiggling them.
Hand me the saw again. Let's see if I can get this hole a little bigger.
Sure, you couldn't catch a minnow through a hole the size of that.
The trouble is getting it started, Will. Once I get the saw down in there, we'll be fine.
Say, I got an idea.
Yeah?
Have you got a penknife on you?
Yeah, certainly. Here.
Now, if I can just chip a little more ice off, I think we can get the saw in there.
Good idea.
Yeah, that's getting it, Sam.
Would you mind if I run around a bit while you were doing that?
You're not cold, are you?
Of course not. Just a little stiff. I'll be right with you.
All right, flap your arms, Sam.
Hey, what try this, Will? Makes you feel like $1 million.
Say, Sam.
Yes, sir.
Sam, did you attach any sentimental value to that penknife?
Will, you didn't drop it through.
Well, now, don't worry. I'll get it back.
How?
I'll have Homer come out in the summer and dive for it.
That's a fine thing.
Now, wait a minute. Hand me my line.
What for?
Well, it's got a good big hook on it. I think I can fish around and hook the penknife.
I doubt it, but here.
Look, you go on flapping, Sam. I'll drop this in and give it a try. There.
You feel anything?
No, not yet.
Well, let's just forget it.
Hey!
Will, get up off the ice.
Sam, I got one.
You got the penknife?
I got a fish. Look at that shadow under the ice.
Good heavens, it's a monster.
What do I do?
Land it.
Well, how can I land it? Look at the size of the hole. Now, wait a minute, Will. Don't get excited. Don't just stand there. Saw the hole bigger. Like Dad, Will. We'll have to cut the line. Well, do something, Sam. Do something.
Homer, stop shivering and stand still.
Listen, Henry, take it easy. You're rubbing the back off me.
Well, I have to get you circulating again, don't I?
Oh, can't you use a softer towel? That one feels like sandpaper.
Wait, I'll go to the linen closet and get some more towels.
You're going to leave me alone in your room with just a sheet on?
Well, then wait. I'll find you some clothes.
And all I can say is the next time you hose the sidewalk, I hope you have a little more control.
Gee whiz, Homer, it was your own fault.
My fault.
Sure. Didn't you come right out and say, turn the hose over here, Henry?
Sure I did. I didn't say turn the hose on me.
And then you jumped right in my way.
Oh, boy. You know how I feel about Fletcher's Pond?
How?
I've had enough water for one day.
Well, you know what I was just thinking?
What?
See, if it's no fun chopping ice on your own sidewalk, think how much tougher it's going to be out on Fletcher's Pond.
Sure. You stand around and break your back, and then some fish comes along and splashes ice water all over you.
Sure. And your mitts freeze to the line.
Sure.
And right here at home, we've got a fireplace and lots of wood.
Boy.
Then we can sit in front of the fire with a comic book.
And a skyscraper sandwich.
Sure.
Sure. Can I have some underwear? Henry! Gee whiz.
Wait a minute, Mary.
Henry, Mother wants you... Are you making a tent in here?
A tent, Mary?
I thought I saw...
Never mind. What do you want?
Mother wants to see you down in the living room.
She does? What for?
I don't know, but you better come right down.
Mary, can't you even give me a hand?
Mother!
Mary, I don't think I've ever been so furious in my life.
Why, Mother?
Just look out the window here. Look at the condition of our front walk.
My goodness, it's a solid sheet of ice.
The postman just slipped and fell right on his mailbag. And your father promised me faithfully he'd have all that ice cleaned off today.
Mother, if it's about your guest towels, I give you my
Henry,
word.
please put your coat on.
We're going out?
You are, dear. I want you to go straight out to Fletcher's Pond.
Well, Mother, I've changed my mind.
About what?
I don't want to go to Fletcher's Pond anymore.
Well, I want you to, and you're to tell your father to come home immediately.
Father? Father's at Fletcher's Pond?
Yes, dear. Mrs. Brown and I are positive that's where they went.
He's having his conference there?
What conference?
Well, gee whiz, he said...
Henry, he's out there with Mr. Brown, fishing.
He is? Well, I'll be darned. Anybody home? Hey, anybody home? Where's the fire, mister? Oh, I'm sorry to be so noisy, but this is an emergency. Have you got an axe?
Why, sure. You want to come in?
No, I can't. I have to get back down to Fletcher's Pond.
What's the trouble?
My friend and I went down there fishing, see, and all of a sudden there was this big fellow splashing around, and
What's that?
my friend is hanging on for dear life, and the hole isn't big enough to pull him out.
You don't say.
Yeah, and man, is he struggling. If we don't get him out fast, we're going to lose him.
Now, look, you find an axe around the side on a block.
Oh, fine. Thanks a lot.
You get right down there and don't worry. Martha, get a big pot of hot soup and some blankets. Get them down in the pond right away. Where are my boots and jacket? Quick. And you better get me a rope. Fellow down there's falling through the ice.
And now getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Henry, in trying to talk Homer into going fishing through the ice, has succeeded only in selling both their fathers on the idea. So far, the men are having difficulties landing their fish, and the boys have been sent out to find them. The scene opens at Fletcher's Pond.
Hurry up, Will. I'm freezing to death.
Now, listen, Sam. I got up to that farmhouse and back as quick as I could.
Well, at least you've been moving. Here, you hold the fish line and let me come.
Now, that suits me.
Oh, boy, it's good to sit down. Get your feet out of the way, Will.
My feet are all right. Let's hurry and get that fish out and get home.
Well, be long now.
Who's that? Look, Sam, it's a lady of some kind. Have we seen who, ma'am? What's that?
My husband's up at the north end of the pond, and we've been looking all over, and we haven't been able to find him anyplace.
Well, say, we've been here for over an hour. We haven't seen anybody around here.
My heavens, I have this hot soup and these blankets.
Are you sure it was Fletcher's pond this man fell into?
Why, I thought it was.
You don't think he could have gone through up at Birch's Creek?
Sure, if he isn't here, he must be up
Oh,
there.
then we better get up there right away. I'll go and get my husband.
We haven't time. Come on, Will. On your feet.
But, Sam, what about our fish?
We can't worry about that now. Tie the line to this tree over here, and we'll come back for it later.
Oh, Father! Father! Oh, Mr. Aldrich!
Homer, are you sure this is Fletcher's pond?
You sure it is?
Well, nothing looks familiar anymore since it started to smell.
That's another thing. We don't find our fathers in about 5 minutes. I'm going home.
But, Homer, maybe they're lost. Oh, Homer, where are you?
I'm down here. I could.
Oh, here, I'll help you up.
Henry, you know what I think? I think we're lost.
How could we be if this is Fletcher's pond?
But, Henry, I just tripped over a fence.
What?
And there aren't any fences around Fletcher's pond.
Homer, this isn't any fence. It's a piece of string.
Now, listen, Henry, I'm not that weak.
But look, Homer. Look, it's tied to a tree.
It is?
And it's jiggling.
Henry, you're crazy.
Wait while I follow it along. It's definitely jiggling.
Gee whiz, you're right. Wait till I beat some of the snow away.
Look at this. It goes down through a hole in the ice.
Henry, look.
What?
There's a fish on the end of it, a great big fish.
Well, I'll be darned. Pull it out. Pull it out.
Man, the hole isn't big enough.
Oh, gee whiz, look what's here under the snow.
What?
And that.
Henry, it's a miracle.
Either that, Homer, or it's a dream.
Even if it is, let's chop a great big hole and get that fish out before we wake up.
Well, if you'd turn around and walk frontwards, we'd get there a lot faster.
Look, you walk your way, Sam, and I'll walk mine.
Now, granted, the snow's flowing in block faces.
Yes, and I've walked into all the trees I'm going to walk into.
You're still bumping into trees, walking backwards.
I can stand it better that way.
Anyway, here's Fletcher's pond.
Boy, I'd like to get my hands on the guy who started us on this wild goose chase.
Well, we pretty well had to go. Well, suppose somebody really had fallen through the ice.
We had to go, sure. I wouldn't have minded going up there and taking a quick look around.
Now, aren't they licensed around here someplace?
That woman insisting that we hunt for 3 solid hours. I said, I don't think I'll ever thaw out.
Do you remember what tree we tied our fish line to?
Oh, look at that. Look at that snow all over the place.
Now, Will.
Even if we do find the tree, how are we going to find the fish?
Will, if we can only keep our sense of humor, we'll be all right.
What?
Things aren't really so bad. As a matter of fact, look.
Where?
There's our tree. I distinctly remember that broken branch. Now, hole in the ice can't be too far from here.
Oh, we'll never find it in this snow, Sam. A tiny little hole like that.
We'll find it all right.
Look! Sam! Will! Pull me out!
Does that fire feel good?
Would you like some more hot soup, John?
I sure would. But be sure to keep that blanket over your shoulders now, Martha.
Oh, I will.
We'll be lucky if we don't both catch pneumonia. When I think of going over Fletcher's pond, inch by inch.
And, John, if you could have only seen those poor men hunting with me up there at Birch's Creek.
Now, who would that be?
Well, you going to answer?
I guess I better.
Well, try not getting the draft on.
Yes, come quick, mister.
Oh, it's you again.
Hurry, bring those blankets and hot soup. My friend just fell through the ice.
Oh, yeah? Well, tell it to the Marines.
What?
If you think I'm going to fall for that story again, you're crazy.
Oh, Wilson!
Just look at him, Mother. Isn't he a beauty?
My goodness, Henry, that's the biggest fish I've ever seen.
We just weighed him, Mrs. Aldrich. He's 8.5 pounds.
You caught him all by yourself?
Well, we didn't actually catch him. Did you, Mrs. Aldrich? You wouldn't believe it. But we were walking along in the middle of nowhere, see? And all of a sudden, there he was. tied to a tree.
Now, Homer.
Honest, Mother.
Hey, Henry, we haven't measured him yet.
Oh, boy, come on. I bet he's 2 feet long.
You have to swing it around like that, dear.
Should we have him mounted, do you think?
What? We're get to eat him?
Henry!
Sam, is that you?
Alice, where's Henry? I just keep your sense of humor, Sam. What happened to our front walk?
Sam, what's happened to you?
Let me tell you something. A few minutes ago, we started up the front walk, and I mentioned to Will how happy I was to get home. When all of a sudden, there we both were, flat on our backs. Who turned our front walk into a skating rink?
Sam, that front walk is your own fault. And may I ask whose clothes you're wearing?
They're my own, Alice. It's just a little shrunk, that's all.
My heavens, you're soaking wet.
All right, try it out of in the car.
But, Sam...
All right, Alice. All right, forget it. Just forget everything and let me lie down here. Move over, Sam.
Well, I'm certainly going to get you some blankets.
Father!
Henry, come in here.
Sure, Father. What do you think of this?
Floor. Do you want to get it dusty?
Henry, where did you get that fish?
We found it, Father.
Sure, out of Fletcher's pond.
What's that?
Fletcher's pond.
Father, is that you on the floor?
Henry, was that fish by any chance tied to a tree?
What? Well, how did you know?
Well, what do you know about that? In that case, kindly give it to me.
You want to have a good look at it, Father?
It happens that that fish belongs to Mr. Brown and to me.
Oh, no, Mr. Aldrich.
Oh, yes, Homer.
I'm sorry, boys, but we caught it and we tied the line to the tree.
But, Father, even if you did, we landed it.
Henry, someday I'll tell you what we went through today because of that fish. I'll hand it over to you.
Well, gee whiz.
Henry!
Here, Father. Well, let's see it, Sam. Let's have a good look at it.
Isn't he a beauty?
Oh, boy, he must weigh 10 pounds.
8.5.
Come on, Homer.
Where?
I don't know. Homer, why don't you go along with Henry and stop asking questions?
Well, do you think we should mount him?
Who, Homer?
All right, Alice. Here, hold the fish, Will. I'll be right back.
Sure. And, Sam, we ought to take a picture of it, you know.
Hello.
Hello, is that Mr. Aldrich?
Yes?
I understand your son caught a fish.
No, sir. My friend and I caught it. It's our fish. After what we went through today, I'd like to see anyone else claim that fish.
That's very interesting.
Oh, say it's a beauty. A 10-pound bass. Let me tell you how we caught it.
You can tell me all about it in my office at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Who is this?
The game warden. You're not allowed to catch bass in January.
Now, wait a minute.
Will anyone have another piece of fish?
I will, please. I paid enough for it. I might as well enjoy it.
Hasn't this been some day, though, Henry?
I'll say, I don't mind a bit you're taking the fish away from me, Father.
Oh, that's fine.
I've got something much better. Homer and I were cleaning the fish tree, and boy...
What a day for a miracle.
I'll say. Guess what we found inside it, Mother?
What, dear?
It's something I've always wanted, a penknife.
What's that?